Zoom in. Legacy game.
What is his legacy?
Legacy game for Mac Jones.
What is his legacy? Throwing picks?
We scored in 2008, and we're not. We suck. We suck. Genuinely, we are trash. It's fraudulent. Fraudulent.
Supposed to be Lamar last week. It could have been so.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the sports show. I'm Richie. Joining me as always to my left, Elgin. To the right of him, or left of him, I don't know, Chantz. And then to my right, our special guest. He's back again for another episode. The Bucks fan, Mr. Carson Campos.
You know it.
Welcome back. All right, guys. We had a busy week of football. We had a lot of Thanksgiving games. Some teams won this week. Some teams lost. Some teams clinched divisions. Some teams got eliminated. And then some teams are just kind of still sitting there. Let's start off with the Thanksgiving games. The first game, the Lions and Bears. This one was a little bit of a sloppy football game. Coming down to the wire, what was going on with the Bears, who also fired head coach Eberflus? We'll get into that in a second. Elgin, you were talking about being a football coach. The end of the game hurt your soul. Tell us a little bit about that.
Caleb Williams is a rookie quarterback, and you could say, "Oh, Caleb Williams was." If you as a coach, if you see your rookie quarterback is clearly not ready to go, he's not ready to snap the ball. He's still looking at if everyone's lined up. By the way, if you watch that whole thing, it goes, it's clock's ticking. As a coach, you gotta take the timeout. He's clearly not ready. You got to take the timeout. And here's the thing, though. I understand running up a hurry up instead of calling the timeout because it was 3rd and 26. It was going to be a little bit of a long field goal.
Yeah,
but. Oh my goodness, they were not hurrying it up at all. Caleb Williams was still looking around, reading the defense. Call the timeout.
Yeah, no, I mean, I agree with that.
That hurt my soul, and then Caleb Williams just launched it up in the air. That's all you could do.
So,
yeah.
I kind of had something similar as a Bills fan when McDermott played prevent defense in a dumb scheme when you had Tyreek Hill, probably the fastest guy in the NFL. It's pretty similar, and I think, first of all, you're right. I seen the same exact thing. Caleb Williams wasn't even focused on the ball, and they're like, hike it. Not only that, why are you going to throw it when he's not even in the outside slashes? You were throwing it, allowing the time to run out.
When they had a timeout, by the way.
Go
they had
for the
timeout.
Their kicker isn't bad, by the way. Isn't bad. They actually have a kicker who isn't going to miss in probably 7 years.
Double doink.
Yeah. And so, why not take that chance? You go to overtime.
Yeah.
This is mainly the coach's fault. As you can see, he got fired. In my opinion, he should have been fired 4 weeks ago. Another thing is, I feel bad for Caleb Williams and his offensive line, dog. Like, there's glimpses like, okay, Caleb Williams is good. Like, I could see it.
Second half.
I could see it. And then his offensive line just kills him.
Yeah,
just
exactly.
A little reminder, Caleb Williams threw 4 touchdowns in that second half. Threw 4.
That's insane.
That's crazy. They had 0 first downs at the end of the half.
That's
and then they come back out of nowhere. But it's just such a painstaking thing to lose in a fashion that by the way, the reason why if this was like his first loss, it would have been a different story. It was just a mess up, rookie, a second-year coach. But this is like the 4th time in a row where they've lost in the most heartbreaking way ever.
I think Chicago should have went into the season, got rid of Eberflus, and get a coach who's someone like Dan Quinn. Someone like who maybe is a bit more experienced that you could build with your rookie quarterback. Someone who's not going to make weird, stupid decisions. I don't think Caleb was ready week 1, but he hasn't looked bad. Caleb has looked, I think, solid and has proven he'll be the future of the Bears. He just needs a new coach. And I saw, I can't remember who said it. It was an ESPN reporter, and he said that he was a former coach. He said that the Bears head coach opening, I think it was Howie Long. He said the Bears head coach opening has to be the best head coach opening right now because you got a young quarterback who showed promise, a great wide receiver tangent. As long as you're not smart, then you'll be fine.
Bill Belichick.
Bill Belichick. Oh, could you imagine?
I'm not saying this in a mean way, but what you just said explains Bill Belichick. He isn't going to do too much with you. He's going to allow the quarterback to play quarterback and do quarterback things and let the offensive line run it. He's going to control the defense, I'm not going to lie, but they kind of need help on defense, so it's going to help overall.
That'll be interesting to keep an eye on.
Yeah, let's move on to the Bears, their head coaching. There's so many candidates out there. Mike Vrabel is a one I've been seeing, and of course the one that's always number one candidate, Ben Johnson, the OC for the Lions.
Yeah. You
Bills,
think he would go division?
Joe Brady.
Yeah, that's true.
He's only lost two
And
games.
then I just want to say Mike Vrabel is such an underrated pick for me. Like, Mike Vrabel, he was one of my favorite coaches. I know I may be sound a little biased because he was a former Patriot, but he was such. I don't know why the Titans fired him. That was such a weird move for me. That was such a weird move. Apparently, I think they were just clearing house, but Mike Vrabel was like winning games.
Yeah.
Was, like this. I think he was the sole reason they were winning games. It was just. Man, by the way, I did apply for the Bears head coaching job on Indeed.
we'll see how that goes.
I think
Carson, what's your take on the Bears situation right now?
Sad.
Very sad.
I think mentally, Vrabel just wanted out too, so I think it was like a mutual thing. Just
I think he should have got a head coaching job in the offseason. If
definitely,
not, then
definitely.
I
I
can
think
see
he should do
Chicago
something way
calling.
less. He's like the personnel for the Browns right now.
Something like I think he just did that. Well, I mean, I think a guy that you guys want to keep an eye on for a head coaching job is Miami's old head coach Brian Flores.
He's the DC for Vikings, yeah.
I think he's definitely going to get a head coach opening at some point. I could see him going somewhere like New Orleans, possibly.
Oh yeah, Dennis Allen got can with him.
Yeah. So up next, we had 3 Thanksgiving games. Cowboys Giants. This one was a little
The
lackluster.
sleeper.
Sleeper. It wasn't a bad game. It was just, if you were gonna take a nap after your Thanksgiving meal, that was the game to nap during. The Cowboys won with Cooper Rush at quarterback. It was Cooper Rush versus Drew Lock, America's favorite quarterback matchup on Thanksgiving. Did we learn anything about either of these teams? And an even deeper question: was Daniel Jones the problem?
They still not them boys.
No, not at all. I mean, they're on a
Okay.
2-game win streak.
I look at it, I think the best thing that happened, or the best example I could give, is Bryce Young or more Baker Mayfield or Bryce Young. This team gets so close, but never gets to the playoffs, and they've done it 2 years. And he did go to the playoffs once, I'll give it to them. But then losing it was just a confidence thing. Daniel Jones lost his confidence. And when you lose your confidence, everyone knows. You all played sports. When you lose confidence, you're crappy. You're not going to be good. So I think that's something that happened to Daniel Jones. You could see it. And I don't think he was necessarily the problem, but I think he lost the locker room.
I will say this.
I don't think he was going to be the solution.
I'll say this about Daniel Jones. He went to the Vikings for a very, very particular reason. Kevin O'Connell has been just such a quarterback. I'm going to say a quarterback whisperer. I don't know what he knocked in Sam Darnold, but he found something in him.
I mean, he did
and
revive.
and Sam Darnold, he's having a great season. I mean, he's slowed down there and there, but he's leading game-winning drives. He's playing great. And Daniel Jones is only there to learn from Kevin O'Connell. I'm going to say this: Kevin O'Connell is such an underrated head coach.
Coach of the year, I think.
I think he should win it.
Absolutely, just what he's done. Just I don't know how do you turn Sam Darnold, who we all thought was he's never
The ghost whisperer.
the ghost whisperer. Yeah, listen, I watched that Jets game he was in. 3 interceptions, crazy. But we're going back to Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is going there to learn. But honestly, I think Daniel Jones, if he's probably gonna, I have a actually theory. He's going to the Raiders. He's gonna go to the Raiders. Watch. What a lot of.
I just
So,
think that's a waste of
I think-
time and money. That's just Garoppolo 2.0 to me.
I think what the Vikings are doing is they see that Sam Darnold is going to get paid. They're not going to pay him. They have a rookie guy who they want to see if he could step up. If not, they could fall back to someone who is kind of a vet in Daniel Jones. They're going to continue with Daniel Jones. He's going to be light money. He isn't going to be anything big. Then you have this rookie. If this rookie doesn't work out, go to Daniel Jones. Let Sam Darnold walk.
Yeah.
But as the Giants as a whole, I'm gonna be honest with you. Watching Drew Lock, it was rough in those first like 2 quarters. Like their first drive was okay, but I was like, why are they not putting Tommy DeVito in? There was some points in the game. I was like, why is Tommy DeVito not in? This
Well,
guy's
Tommy
terrible.
DeVito did look rough in that game beforehand. I can't
The
remember
Bucks
who it was.
game, he didn't
Yeah,
throw a
the
pick
Bucs
or
game.
interception. Like that pick six that Drew Lock threw was terrible.
Yeah, that's true.
They just, I think it's just like the room lost respect for the coaches, and
I really.
they're not playing football. It's like they're going there to work is the best way to put it. They're
Yeah.
going there to work. They're not going there to have fun. And for that reason, the Giants, they're done.
Sometimes seasons are like that. You're not there for the fun anymore. You're just here to go to work.
Yeah, just get
Amari
paid.
Cooper, look what he was saying about it I mean, obviously I'm a Bills fan, I'm biased, but he was like, I haven't had this much fun on a team, like a winning team in a while. And it's understandable because the Raiders, the Browns, the Cowboys was his first team, and it was the one team he did enjoy, and you could see
Yeah.
why.
I mean, just it's just the Giants. Like, I really hope they don't fire Brian Dable.
I don't think they will. I think
I
they'll
hope
hold
they
on to him.
don't. I think he's really trying. I think right now currently there's reports saying he's kind of just playing. He's kind of just playing just to keep his job. Like, I think he's a great head coach. Like, he's clearly the gesture he gave. Like, I would be upset too if Daniel Jones kept making mistake after mistake, giving this guy a shot. And then, you know what's so funny? I read up on this Daniel Jones situation. They asked him so they wouldn't trigger his injury guaranteed money to not do more reps for weightlifting. And then I think the final straw for Daniel Jones was when they told him to stay home. That's got to be a brutal thing as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Like,
I
because
think
they don't want to risk the $23 million guaranteed injury money.
I honestly think, in my opinion, that Brian Daboll should go, but to a different team, just because like it's a coaching thing, and like if you're a player for a different team and you're gonna be a free agent, why would you get swayed to go to the Giants if you see that their coaching aspect may be the reason they didn't win a season or didn't win a game?
Yeah.
And that's my biggest thing. But if I see him on the Vikings, I'm like, all right, maybe he just need that switch, that turn, that change.
Personally, with Jones, I think he's just there in Minnesota just to play out the rest of the year. I don't think he's probably going to get many reps unless something happens to where they're able to rest their starters and he comes in the last game or two, or if anything happens to Darnold. I don't think they're going to prioritize Daniel Jones over their first-round draft pick this year, or Sam Darnold, who played really good. So I think Daniel Jones is going to hit the free agent market, and personally, I'd like to see, the Dolphins pay him a little bit of money to go in there and be a backup, because I don't think Tua's leaving at all. I don't think McDaniel's going to leave. I think with Tua's injury concern, sign a competent backup. Skylar Thompson's not him. Tyler Huntley's not bad, but he's not him either. And that brings us to the last Thanksgiving game on Thursday night, the Packers and the Dolphins. Let me say this, and I can't express this enough, that Tua is not the problem here. He didn't look great. I just think there's so much wrong with this team, and the word that a lot of people have used that I can't help but to agree with is soft. They just look a little soft. It doesn't seem like that many of the playmakers there really want to step it up. Tyreek Hill, I love Tyreek Hill to death, but he didn't really show effort in that game until the fourth quarter when he's catching weird tip drill touchdowns.
Yeah.
Waddle plays with effort. I think Tua plays with effort. Achane does. The O-line's not great. Taron Armstead, I feel like he's mentally checked out. He's trying to get Tua killed out there. It's interesting. The defense
I forgot
and the
you guys
offensive
had
mistakes.
Taron
That muffed
Armstead.
punt, because he's not. I mean, he's not terrible, but
Is he your best offensive lineman?
for sure.
I look at it, and like for me, it's just like mind-boggling the fact from where you guys were last year to this year. Like,
Well,
even though you didn't win the division last year, you guys were competitive to every team. And I'm saying, as a Bills fans, like, it was scary to face you guys last year. I know we did blow you out once, whatever, but it was scary to face you guys. And it's just like, I can't happen to say it's the coach. It has to be the coach.
I think in our losses this year, they've all been competitive except Week 2 Buffalo, which you guys always blow us out. I feel like once a year, because then our other loss to you guys was
It was like
extremely
a
down the wire.
3-point difference, I think.
And then Seattle, not Tyler Huntley. Who was this? Skylar Thompson, trash show. Terrible quarterback. Week 3, Tennessee, Tyler Huntley, trash show. Then the losses after that were close. We barely lost to Indianapolis. Barely lost to Arizona, which should have been a win. Those games where I think we're on the defense a bit. And then, the loss to Green Bay was one of the only felt like one-sided losses, and we were able to cut it close towards the end, but all hope was lost at that point.
For the off-season for the Dolphins, there should be two priorities: the offensive line
And corner.
Oh yeah, I hate to break Jalen Ramsey's not the best corner.
What are you? Hold on. All right, that's how I know you're not watching
PS2,
games.
PS2.
Ramsey has been okay. He's not. That doesn't have to be the best. I'm saying. I thought you meant Ramsey
He's top
was a problem.
3. He's top
Okay.
3, but like
That doesn't mean we
he's
have to
not
go
the
out
best
number
corner
2
in
and number
football.
1.
I also think
He doesn't need
Javon
to be.
Holland's
He could-
going too.
I think there's going to be a situation there too. It's just because he needs to get paid, and
Yeah.
we chose
You
to
guys
pay
do have to
Waddle,
pay
chose to
him.
pay Tua.
You guys just
Um,
did pay a couple people. You guys need to pay a lot of people soon, don't you?
Not too soon. I know Holland's probably the main one this year, and if we want to bring back Calais Campbell, we'd have to pay him.
If your team is smart, I feel like instead of investing so much money in your receiving, like getting these all-star players, you would invest big money into this offensive line and make Tua a pocket passer. Everyone says he's a system quarterback. To make him not a system quarterback, make him a quarterback pocket passer.
I think Tua's proved he's not a system quarterback.
I
think
agree.
The system's just built for
I'm
him.
not saying
No,
I
know,
agree
I'm
with you.
just saying.
I'm saying many other people are like, oh, he's a system quarterback. He's just doing good because Tyreek Hill, blah, blah, blah. This is how you prove it. Get rid of Tyreek Hill, get a great offensive line or something like that. Just do something to give Tua a shot. If Tua's really your guy, then you're not going to need Tyreek Hill. You're not going to need a Jalen Waddle. It will help, but you're not going to need him.
Yeah, I think that's what is able to keep us afloat, though, the fact that we have that threat. Even though they haven't been playing too well as of late, I feel like if one's playing down, the other's playing good.
And on top of that, with how much you're paying them, you could probably get someone that does half of what they do for $20-30 million cheaper.
I will say this one thing about the Dolphins. Listen, Mike McDaniel, he's an offensive guy, but some of the call plays he writes up are
I
just
agree.
kinda
I think last
weird.
year. Yeah.
Listen, I'm a Patriots. I know everything about screen passes. Oh my God, it's the only play we know.
Yeah.
And you guys run these weird screens.
Because I think they'll work once, and then Mike McDaniel will be like, okay, let's run it until it doesn't work. And then it doesn't work 5 times. And it's the same game. Like, you'll see the same things from the team, and they'll work maybe once, and then McDaniel will stick with it a couple times. Like, last year we used to run that pitch play all the time.
Yeah.
We used to run, like, that reverse to start the games. We used to run, I don't know, it just
I'll
felt
go
like it
route
was the
with
same
Tyreek
thing.
Hill.
We don't throw the ball deep anymore. Like, I think I've
That
seen...
was like one of Tua's. I believe that was one of Tua's best traits, his deep ball accuracy.
And that's crazy because so many people would say, oh, my gosh, he's not a deep ball quarterback. And then we take away the deep ball and they say, oh. But he's able to make it. I think Tua's a good quarterback.
And he's still one of the weirdest quarterbacks to watch because he's left-handed. So, like, the TV's kind of looking weird sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, I've watched him every
I have a quick
Saturday
question
since
for
he was in
both of
Bama.
you.
Yeah.
Do you think it is crazy? Did you even expect in any world where the AFC East would have been locked down in Week 13?
No,
Like-
I thought it was going to be similar to last year.
Me too.
I thought the Jets were going to be much more competitive. Even though I didn't want to, I thought they were going to.
How do you feel about it? 'Cause you're a Patriots fan, and it's a rebuild year. As much like I think that's respectful to say. It's a rebuild year.
Eliminated.
So how do you feel about it? Like,
I do have to say, I thought the Dolphins and Jets would be a little bit better than they are right now, especially the Jets. Goodness gracious, I don't know what happened. Aaron Rodgers, and the thing about Aaron Rodgers, he is literally the sole problem what's going on over there. I don't care how good he plays. He is the sole reason why they are not winning games sometimes. But honestly, this division's been kind of garbage this year. I mean, they got this kind of screamed a little bit like when the Patriots just, we kind of just
kept winning.
kept
the way
winning
for-
every
yeah.
division, and now you guys are kind of taking over now. But listen, we will be back. Hopefully we'll be back in 2 years. I really hope. I hope we're competitive. Drake
I
May
like
is
your
showing
quarterback.
Promise. He looks promising. We lost to the Colts in a point where I watched that whole game. I didn't feel a dang thing when we lost by a 2-point conversion. I wanted to lose actually. I wanted a good draft pick. Travis Hunter, here we come, baby.
I will give compliments to the Patriots. I like their quarterback. I like their coaching, and I like how their defensive
Coaching's
pieces are
also
playing.
weird.
Or yeah, I mean, it's iffy, but I like John Mayo. I don't know why, but he just seems like the right fit for Drake May. It's
Mr.
like
field goal specialist himself.
it's like I look at Drake May, and it looks like his biggest like lackluster thing was his confidence, and I feel like that's the one thing he's been getting. And look how good he's doing.
I will say the biggest problem with Drake May right now is that he throws interceptions at the worst time sometimes.
Hey, Josh
Yeah.
Allen.
He listen.
Last year.
He's throwing touchdowns, but man, I watched him throw an interception in overtime live. It was like, gosh, Drake. Listen, I know the situation he's in is right now is just it's not great at all. The offensive line is literally made out of paper mache. Our running back room literally needs an offensive line to work, and then our best wide receiver is Kendrick Bourne. No, it's Kayshon Boutte now. Kayshon Boutte.
Wow.
He's pretty booty. What do you think?
And
I agree with Elgin. What were you saying about the Packers? Like, and what Richie was saying a couple of weeks ago, how he's such like almost a diva, and he's just, like going to the coaches saying this, and that, and the other.
you actually got one of his coaches fired.
It just there's. You think with the therapy that Mr. Rogers was doing, he might be might have some spiritual insight, but still still the same old Rodgers, you know.
He sees the Hat Man on the field. I hope as a Halloween as an event, if Rodgers is still in the league next year, I think everyone in the Jets stadium should dress up
As the Hat Man.
as the Hat Man. Just freak him out, please.
What would
I want to see this dude just start tweaking out.
what if
Check down. Interception.
what if say Aaron Rodgers? I don't know what the Saints. What if he goes to the Saints and does good again, like MVP stats?
I'm sorry. I think it's.
I
I
don't
think
think
he's
over.
done. But like,
If
what do we just say the
He's
Jets are terrible?
I think that would be the most poetic thing in football history. If Aaron Rodgers, great as a Packer, horrible as a Jet, and great wherever else he
Yeah.
goes, that just shows you the Jets
He's not even
are cursed.
horrible.
Because I think I've brought this up maybe 3 or 4 times on this show now. Joe Namath sold his soul and cursed the Jets for eternity. You think I'm joking? You look it up. He sold his soul. Matt Clark, who graduated here, former guest host of this show, brought that up to me. Joe Namath sold his soul for that Super Bowl, and that is why the New York Jets are awful, and they're going to be awful, and that would be the most poetic thing, and that would just confirm that Joe Namath did sell his soul if Rodgers goes to New Orleans or Tennessee or any
Yeah.
quarterback needy team, to the
Gosh,
Raiders,
it's-
whoever,
it's-
and plays really good.
It's so funny because they were so close in 2010. They were close. They were that.
Black magic. Satanic black magic is what the Chiefs are using.
The Chiefs.
Let's talk about the Chiefs,
Buffalo
guys.
Bills are the only team to beat the Chiefs, and that's all I have to say.
Yeah, the Bills look good. Not even gonna lie.
To be fair,
Josh
you didn't
Allen,
play
look
him
at
at
me.
Arrowhead.
I'm the king of my city. I run over the best athletes in the world. I'm with Haley Steinfeld. We're getting married. Screw you, chump. No, I'm joking.
All right, you have to be happy because at least
No,
it's-
I'm not gonna
no,
be happy.
At least it's not a team who has 7 Super Bowls, and at least it's not like a
I don't
quarterback
care
who's like that.
about any
you
of
know,
that.
that's why your team's never gonna win, and you're
Screw
always gonna be
Bills
second in the
Mafia.
division.
Did you
Second in the division.
Did you see about what you guys did to a young San Francisco 49ers fan?
No, I didn't.
There's a young San Francisco 49ers fan battling cancer, and a grown, drunk Buffalo Bills fan kicked her down the stairs.
God, that's so terrible. She's
She's
they're in
All right,
snow too, so it's slippery.
something else we
just
did.
imagine that poor girl tumble.
Something good we
Bills
did
Mafia.
is we donated to with that Ward guy, the corner from the 49ers, because he lost his daughter. So we
Why'd
donated
you
to
laugh
him.
at that?
God, that's so
No,
terrible.
Bills Mafia is nice because they did donate some money to Tua's foundation after his thing. But then Bills fans are the quickest to laugh at Tua for his concussions.
Go wicked.
All right, it's just because it's like
DeMar
it's
Hamlin
like-
works for the devil.
it's like you watch this video on repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat, and after a certain time you could just do nothing but laugh at the same thing because it's just jokingly
You're
funny.
laughing at a man getting concussion.
Were you not? When it happened, you laughed about it, and I.
Are you kidding me? I was on the verge of tears. Tua's laying here. You think I'm gonna laugh?
Yeah.
We're losing to our biggest rival. My quarterback, I think he's dead. And you think I'm gonna laugh? No, I was ready to cry, dude. No.
It's
I don't know what.
Let's reel it back.
What
in.
you
Where
were
do we go?
texting me. What you were
Hey,
texting me kind of seemed like you were laughing
I just
about
thought
it.
it would fix everything. Sometimes, when you have to, when the TV's not working, you have to bang it on the head to get it to start working back.
Do I have
Tua
to?
came back.
Do I have to
Tua-
pull up what you said?
Hey. But
Alright,
when the
alright.
TV's getting all staticky, you
Alright.
bang it a couple times and it comes back even better.
Alright.
Tua, yeah.
I will say this.
Now he's one of the better
too many
quarterbacks in the
times
league.
for him to come back to normal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
hey.
We're gonna get canceled.
Third time's the charm.
And then I saw him get hit. Oh, I remember in the first sign. If that arm just stays up for a little too long, you know what happened.
Yeah, speaking of quarterbacks getting almost killed, Trevor Lawrence took a huge hit.
3 game
Aziz
suspension from the guy.
Shashraji, and whatever his name is. Yeah, 3 game suspension.
He came over with an apology and then quickly just called out people after it.
Gee, I mean, but why did you knew that's an illegal hit to make?
He probably
He
has
said he
concussion
didn't think it was
himself.
late. He didn't.
He
see
was
that-
sliding. He was giving him.
You want to know something else? He had like an arm brace on too, so that probably hurt even 10 times more. He had an arm brace and put it, like
Ooh.
when he tackled him.
Yeah, that's.
And then he said he thought the Jags players were doing unnecessary things. Like, dude, that's a quarterback. You just laid out.
Yeah,
he was sliding. He was vulnerable.
So, wait, I just realized that player's going to
Macaroni
be
and
suspended
Jones.
from when we play them.
Yeah, for
Three-
3
three-
games he's suspended for.
3 games. He's like their starting linebacker too.
It's all right.
Poetic justice.
He's gonna come out of his stands and concuss
All
Tua.
Oh, jeez.
All right.
Yeah, thank God he's not playing in that
All right.
game because he's taking Tua's head next if he was.
Speaking of, just a team that's been already eliminated, my team. I just want you guys' opinions. What can we fix? Everything. Right now.
Everything.
This is the
Offensive line, get us not a star wide receiver, but a prominent number one receiver. You guys have a solid tight end room, and the defense is. My goodness, the defense is fine. I think add some more pieces, add some more pressure, fix the O-line, get a receiver, and then maybe another DB on the other side of Gonzo. and you
Running
got-
back too.
Or
Honestly, defense is fine. They're just playing. They're having a down year for some reason. The defense is having.
But
their
the
offense.
defense has still looked. The only game that I've watched to the Patriots where the defense is like, is when we played you guys.
Well, you
Yeah.
lost that
Well,
big
well,
guy.
But here's the thing that you gotta remember: the defense gets tired after we can't
The
score on
DB?
offense.
No, who was that linebacker that they lost?
Dante Hightower.
Bro,
No.
that was a long
No,
time
not
ago.
last year. He got traded, or not? Well,
Oh,
offseason.
Judon.
Yeah, Judon. For you guys losing Judon, that's a really good team still. Like that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be mad about that.
You know, it's funny. Judon's been doing terrible on the Falcons, anyways.
well, I mean,
the Falcons have like 12 sacks
you
combined.
have Kirk Cousins
Yeah.
throwing 4
That
interceptions
was
like
a
Nathan
terrible
Peterman.
showing.
I mean,
Is it time to put in Penix with the division kind of on the line? Would you put in Penix, or we're paying? Kirk
They have
all this
they
money?
still have some games to go through too.
I look at it
Yeah, I mean,
and
they're
it's just
6 and
like
6, and they're still ahead of that division, which is so interesting.
Look,
I'm not letting you guys know if they lose and the Bucks win. I think the Bucks play the Cowboys next.
No, the Bucks are. I think the Bucks are on bye.
I look
no,
at
they
it.
just had their bye. I thought.
No, I think they're on because I have Baker in fantasy. Let's find out.
Kirk Cousins has started almost every game for us. I would keep him in as bad as he's doing. And
If it's one more game,
They play the Raiders on Sunday. They could. Okay, so they have that tough game against. They have the Raiders, and then they have the tough game against the Chargers. But then after that, it looks
It's
like
easy,
it's smooth
and
sailing.
then the Falcons have like a kind of like a golf.
Cowboys, Panthers, and Saints to end the season, and then we're going to talk about the Falcons, who they have the season lead right now over the Bucks. They swept
They're
them,
they're
but
t-
they come up. They have Minnesota, right?
They have Minnesota next, I believe.
Oh no, yes, they have Minnesota next. Then an easier 2 games against the Falcons or against the Raiders and Giants, and then they wrap it up with the Commanders game, tough, and then they play Atlanta. Jeez, they play Carolina. And Carolina's had some fight in them right now.
I think
Yeah.
3-2. They
Yeah.
going 3-2.
Carolina
Yeah.
has been playing really good football.
Let's talk about Bryce Young. Had
Resurgence.
rough start to the season. I think he has proved
Hit-
that he deserves to be the quarterback one.
And then I think the benching really helped him.
I think so.
The benching really helped. I think it kind of like gave him like a more of a
chance to watch it from an outsider perspective.
Yes.
That's what he shouldn't have started week 1
Yes.
with Carolina when he was a rookie.
that
I
was
think
just
he should have sat most of his rookie year.
He's never had a break. That's like not a break in a sense, but like he's never had that chance to really like look at, oh, I'm doing this wrong, or like think about it. Yes, you have like every day except Sunday to actually do that, but during games, it's a lot on yourself.
Yeah.
And he's never been able to like lay back, think about it, look at it, process it. And I just think that this was the smartest thing for him. They should have done it last year, in my opinion, to just get a scrub, lose games, whatever.
But
that-
they did have they had Andy Dalton last year.
Yeah,
They
but
should-
they
that's what I
started.
thought.
I know, but
Bryce
I'm
Young.
saying they should have started Dalton off the bat.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
I agree.
That's why when I found out they signed him, I was like, oh, so you guys are going to start Dalton. That's fine. He's
Yeah.
a fine starter to put in there just for now. But like they and then they brought him in because listen, if a quarterback's playing bad within the 3 games, a rookie quarterback, his confidence is so low to
Yeah.
the ground, it's bad. Like
Especially when I feel like every year the higher drafted guys, there's going to be a guy drafted a little bit below them that outshines them, and then they start thinking, because who was I'm trying to
C.J.
think.
Stroud was the one drafted right after Bryce.
Yeah, because so obviously with Stroud,
I'm
Bryce,
happy
trying to
for
think back
Bryce.
a little bit deeper though, because I mean Kyler looked good off the bat, so he's probably not the best example to use.
Josh
Burrow was
Allen.
hurt his rookie year.
Josh Allen and Baker
Josh Allen
Mayfield.
did outplay Baker, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, not rookie year, because rookie year, I feel like they all looked.
Josh Allen wasn't the
Baker
same
looked
overall
good
pick.
his rookie year.
Huh?
Baker looked good his rookie year.
Baker's looked.
Lamar looks good as. Yeah, Baker had them a game outside.
Sam
the playoffs.
Darnold too. Like but
I feel like that
After
draft class
that-
started slow,
yeah,
and Lamar didn't get a chance to
that's
play
fair.
until later in the
That's
year.
fair.
Yeah. Well, I remember. Yeah, I think that Ravens here, Lamar Jackson's rookie year. I think that was like Joe Flacco's like final year.
Yeah, because I think they made a playoff game that Lamar ended up starting, like taking the starting reins, because they used to bring him in just to run every now and then.
Yeah.
And then he took the reins as the starter, and they lost to the Chargers in the
You want to
playoffs.
know something crazy? I seen before Patrick Mahomes played for the Chiefs or our quarterback. The Chiefs were known as a team that couldn't win in the playoffs. Always got there, but couldn't
always
win.
get there.
They had
And-
Alex Smith.
And
Yeah.
now they have Patrick Mahomes, who always wins in the playoffs. I just thought that was like crazy, like a crazy.
I mean,
stat.
I think that showed that because they have a very similar offense
Yeah.
to the one they did. Like Kelsey is still there. I mean, obviously
They lost
flip
like
out some receivers. Like they had
Yeah.
Tyreek with when
Smith.
Sammy Watkins
Smith
and
was there.
McCole Hardman. I think they
Yeah.
still have McCole Hardman. They just got him back, I think.
Sammy
Yeah,
Watkins
But that's
was
the
a
thing with them.
Bill.
They could plug and play receivers.
They can, and they got DeAndre, which he's playing pretty well.
Yeah, with DeAndre.
I have him in
is.
fantasy, that's why I know. But and then a thing, there's one quarterback that has helped Patrick Mahomes. He's even said it himself that is his number one influence. It's Alex Smith. He said that was his number one influence in the NFL.
Yeah, he sat behind Alex Smith for a year. That's what happens when you bench your rookie off the start.
Josh Allen got
They-
benched too. I mean,
Yeah, Josh
before.
Allen didn't start. Who was there?
I mean, it was,
Was it
Nathan.
Tyrod?
It was Nathan Peterman.
Oh.
No, which was bad, but it gave Josh Allen the room to look at what's wrong, how to
Yeah.
get through it. And it doesn't matter who your quarterback is to start. But I tell everyone, I guarantee if Anthony Richardson didn't start the season like he did, he'd be a lot better than he is now.
Exactly.
But now he's rushed into something that he can't process, he can't think, and now he's just walking off the field because he's tired. Like,
He's
Exactly.
that's like the worst excuse to go
No,
off.
no.
the field.
Could you imagine Joe Flacco would ever try something like that? He wouldn't.
I know.
Yeah.
I'm just any quarterback now. Like it's just people should look at Patrick Mahomes getting benched, Josh Allen getting benched.
And it's not even getting benched. Just
Not
starting
just
off
start,
the
not
bat,
started.
Yeah. Tua didn't
You
even play
look
right
at-
away.
yes.
Tua played behind Fitzpatrick.
And who is leading the NFL? These names.
Mhm.
So why are you gonna start? CJ Stroud was maybe the
To be
lucky.
f-
Jaden
Yeah.
Daniels, a
Burrow,
lucky guy.
Burrow
Yeah.
did start right away, but that's because since he just
But
did nothing.
There
Yeah.
was more people who sat and did better than who started right away and did better,
Mhm.
and that's because they were able to sit and see.
Yeah,
Crazy thing, Joe Burrow actually after his rookie year he went to the Super Bowl.
that's such a crazy. That's crazy.
He went to the Super Bowl, and like that whole. I remember the intro for the Bengals and the Super Bowl was like the headline saying, "Rookie quarterback Joe Burrow out for the season. Couldn't get any worse for the Cincinnati Bengals."
And then,
And then they're
turned
in the Super Bowl. I gotta say, Joe Burrow has been one of the. He's progressed so well in his seasons. After his you could say his worst season was his rookie year. He didn't even play. He played like 6 games in his rookie year.
Exactly.
He tore
And
his
he didn't
ACL.
look bad. He didn't even look bad.
Yeah, he tore his ACL, and then but I do have to say he's the quarterback that's like walking him. Have you seen rookie Joe Burrow to current Joe Burrow? That dude has aged.
Yeah.
The dude has
It's
aged.
been a crazy 4 years for him. He's taken a lot of sacks in those 4 years.
There's
but
you could tell when quarterbacks like in a rough room like who was it? There was a particular quarterback that like looked really rough in his tenure. I think it might have been
Mariota?
Mariota.
Mariota aged.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been here since 2015.
1990. Oh,
Oh, he is 2015. He is the same draft class as Jameis Winston.
yeah.
What a guy, Jameis Winston.
Jameis Winston. I literally watch Browns games just for Jameis Winston. The quote he says at the
He should
end
be in
of
a
the
Pro
game,
Bowl.
Oh,
Jameis, he's trying to make. I don't think he's a starter for a legit team.
You know what's
But
crazy?
Could he take Deshaun Watson's job?
Probably.
absolutely. They have
So,
to keep him.
They checked.
Compete with Deshaun.
He's the only quarterback since 2019. No, he's legitimately the only quarterback because in 2019 he did it again.
Mm.
But in that game against the Broncos, he was the only quarterback to throw for 450 yards, 4 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. The only other quarterback to do that, Jameis Winston in 2019 on the Bucks.
What's crazier? Add a little more Jameis Winston to it. 2 of those interceptions were pick sixes.
Exactly. I saw a crazy stat. He threw I think 230 yards to the Broncos last night. That's more yards than Deshaun Watson has thrown to the Browns.
But you know
in
what's
his
fun about
career.
it? He's just going out and having fun. He's slinging it
Yeah,
and he's
he is
enjoying.
doing his thing.
It
This season's all
he doesn't
over.
care. He's like pick 6. Oh well, I'll just throw a touchdown next play.
Yeah. That's like
he was like, I pray for God to deliver me from these pick sixes. This is not me.
my stepdad has told me my stepdad has told me the Jameis Winston experience as a Bucks fan. It's like Taco Bell. You like it, but like in the end, it's not gonna end well. But
Yeah.
he says
There's
if
better
what-
options, but you know where home is.
But he was telling me he said I watched Jameis Winston get sacked for a first down. That is he said that is the most Jameis Winston thing I have ever seen in my life.
I feel like with Winston, you're either gonna have the best day of your life, or you're gonna have the worst headache of your life.
Oh my gosh. There's my stepdad said, listen, he would throw an incredible touchdown. Next drive, it's a pick six.
Yeah, 30 for 30 season. I think that's.
He just needs to redo his eyes one more time.
One more lace. Did you? Yeah, he's an interesting guy.
He thought, yeah, I know exactly.
I was gonna say, I don't know. If you know, you know. We'll leave it there.
Yeah.
But,
just a quarterback. I mean, well, just the coach. I'll just say that.
Yeah, Bruce Arians. He thought something about Bruce Arians that wasn't true until he got surgery.
That's
He thought Bruce Arians was African American. Then he got LASIK surgery. He was like, oh, no, he's not.
I wonder about that's my Bucks fan. The reason why Jameis Winston can't throw a football right now is because he can't see. He legitimately can't see.
All right, you guys. I think that's gonna do it for our episode today. You have
Go
something you want
Bills.
to say?
No, I was just saying that there's some footage of Jameis when they had the cameras on him and he was looking around the play. I was kidding you not. He was going like this the whole time. He was like this. I swear.
That's
I don't know what he was on.
Anyway, what an interesting guy Jameis is. Well,
Go
we'll be
Bills.
back later in the week.
AFC
We'll
East
predict
champs.
what's coming up for week. What are we in? 14 now.
Hey, give me
Week
the
14.
congrats.
Dolphins play the Jets. Who do you guys play?
The Rams.
Okay.
Doesn't matter who we play.
Not really. You guys play
The Raiders.
Raiders. Pirate Bowl. All right. Well, we'll be back with our picks for those
Give
games
me
as
the
well as the
congrats.
other big games of the week. What are you
Give me
saying?
the congratulations.
I'm not congratulating.
Do
you.
it.
Win a playoff game.
Do it.
Make it to the Super Bowl, then you'll get.
Buddy, you can't win a playoff.
Thank you guys
Win pleasant.
so much for joining
Win in
us.
crunch
We'll catch
time.
you guys
Win in
on the
OT.
next.
Win in the
episode.
cold. Win in the cold. Oh wait, you
Win.
can't.
Just win.
Yeah, win. Just
Tom
win.
Brady.
What is his legacy?
Goodbye.
See you guys.
For Mac Jones. What is his legacy? Throwing picks?
We finished in 2008, and we're not. We suck. We suck. Genuinely, we're garbage. We are trash. It's fraudulent. Fraudulent.
Supposed to be Lamar last week. It could have been so